It's also possible.
40.
You can have a kid at 40. That's possible too.
Yeah,
in fact, it's probably easier to have a kid at 40 than it is to go into the workforce after being out of it for 20 years.
Down syndrome is easy.
You know what? Actually, yeah, absolutely it is. Of course.
No.
It absolutely is.
What?
No, because
Do you think women at 40 can't have kids?
No, they come out with Down syndrome, bro.
Yeah, dude. I mean, let's be honest here. That's a high risk pregnancy after 35.
It's higher risk, but it's not ultra high risk.
Also, who the fuck?
Hold on, but as opposed to a woman at 40 being like,
But
here
Steven,
I am from the year 2003 onwards, I'm that shit. Now I'm gonna go get a job. What,
Steven,
programming?
Who the fuck wants to bust a load at a 35-year-old hag?
If we're gonna go off percentages, I would argue that a woman has a higher chance of landing a job at 40, re-entering the workplace and getting an education, thanks to affirmative action. Maybe she goes into a job field that's dominated by men, versus being 40 years old and trying to bring a child to full term.
Sure, you would just be completely wrong. I mean, we can look at stats of like, wait, what do you think? Do you think it's like a 70% chance of like a miscarriage? A woman gets pregnant at 40?
It's significantly higher, bro. 90% of our eggs, like 90% of our eggs are gone at that point.
You don't need 100% of your eggs to have a child. You don't need one.
No, you're correct.
Sure,
you're correct. But then let's say you actually do end up getting pregnant. Are you going to be able to bring the child to term? If you do bring the child to term, is it going to be healthy? Is it not going to have autism or are these other issues? Like, you significantly reduce your child's ability to be healthy the longer you wait.
I agree, but significant reduce can mean like the difference between like 1% chance of complications up to like 10%.
No, you're gonna birth a Joe Biden. You're gonna make a fucking Joe Biden retard baby.
Nice. That would be a 1,000% increase in birth.
Your destiny is delusional on everything. Like every subject, this guy's incredible.
Complications, but it's still relatively low, right? This is variable risk versus absolute risk, right? But what I'm trying to say is that if you take 100 women that are 40 and you knock all of them up, there's going to be more successful pregnancies than if you take 100 women who haven't been in the workforce for 20 years and try to get them into careers. That's like almost impossible.
Oh my God.
It's so hard to retrain people and get them back into the workforce after they've gone for 20 years. It's like one of the biggest challenges in our society. So we tried it after NAFTA. Remember with the whole learn to code movement for truckers and shit, where people were saying like, oh, like truckers can just learn computer programming. That's a really hard order to take on after you've been doing another job for like 20 years.
Understandable, but if a woman goes ahead and gets an education, tries to enter the workforce, especially in a workforce that's male dominated, she's going to have a higher chance of being hired.
I understand what you're saying, but the stats just like,
And just to add in the other thing too, I agree with Nick on this, that women derive more fulfillment from children and family than career and pursuit of status.
Well, it seems like the majority of women are making other choices today. So I guess maybe they're just all wrong.
But they're making the choice. Hold on, they're making the choice ill-informed. They're making the choice thinking that at 45 years old they can go ahead and still have children and everything else. They think that they'll be able to have that dream family later on in life after they have their degrees, they make their $200,000 per year, etc. I think if you want to work as a woman, it's better for you to re-enter the workforce after you have your children. Hell, at least wait till they're maybe in high school or whatever, then re-enter the workforce, but be with them with their formative years.
I think you have to have a better argument than all of women in society are just ill-informed. Well, I want to jump in and walk through.
Listen, society for thousands of years was built by these values and traditions. Christians, obviously. Now people are doing it your way. I'm talking about Destiny's way. Highest number of single moms everywhere. Kids nowadays are fucking retarded. LGBT pushed everywhere. Feminism, Black Lives Matter, all this bullshit came in the last decades. Okay, for thousands of years, most people were healthy and sane in their mind. Now that we're doing it this way, the whole world is going to hell.
Life like that, you're going to be unable to see the forest for the trees. Like the idea, like, well, every single woman in every single industrialized country, it's because literally all of them are ill-informed.
Steven, you make the argument. Steven, you make the argument all the time that the average person is fucking retarded.
Well, hang on. You just got done saying at the beginning that a younger woman can't go after an older guy because younger people are more manipulatable. But hang on, and this is important because when do women make the decision to enter the workforce? For many of them, for men and women, it's at the age of 18 when they have to make a decision of if they're going to go to college. And so, yeah, I think there is basically a mass delusion. And by the way, there are a lot of women who do get married young, relatively young, and start families. They don't publicize it. It's not sexy. It's talked down, but it does happen. And I think, a lot of women are being misled. I think the whole society is being misled in thinking that novelty and amusement is some kind of substitution for family. And here's why. There is this fundamental assumption that people have, and it's subconsciously, that we're never going to die. And what I mean by that is people think they can do everything, try everything. They don't have to make decisions that are mutually exclusive. But We don't have all the time in the world.
Yeah.
We have to make decisions. It's either going to college or getting married at 18. It's either having a career or starting a family. And when you're 60, you're either going to be in your nice condo in Manhattan and flying to Paris, but you're alone and it's cold and you have strange guys coming in and out, or you're going to be at the family reunion. And you got 2 generations there. You got your 10 kids, and they have their 5 kids each. And you got little kids running around, grandma, and you got the kids, and they're saying, hey, yeah, we got a great family, blah, blah, blah. We all die. We have to make decisions. We are constrained by our biology. And I think a lot of people are being suckered into thinking that we can have it all, and what's worth it is what's material and what's fun and what's amusing, and it's not.
Well said.
Wow.
I mean, like, it's cute and it's a compelling story because you read it out of the Bible and that's cool. But the reality is, as nice as it sounds,
out of the Bible, this country, like every first world nation, was built on Christian values, on the Bible, not on your fucking factory.
Nobody on the planet is making these decisions anymore. You have been proven wrong time and time again empirically that women, when given the opportunity to work and have birth control, are not choosing to have families. Now, you can run with the delusion. It's the same one progressives have. I talked enough that, oh no, they would all agree with us if they just knew better. But that's only going to get you so far. There's a reason why your movement is so unimaginably unpopular and why it's only becoming more unpopular every single day.
Really? Then why does your side spend millions of dollars to suppress it?
The reason why is because
this
women
didn't
aren't
age
making
well.
these decisions. So you need to adapt to the world as it exists today, figure out why they're not, and then try to make a better value proposition.
Okay.
You're just harping on a 2,000-year-old book isn't going to do it.
Stephen, how come for thousands of years you're trying to suppress the book and it keeps coming back stronger? You spent trillions of dollars with your side trying to suppress one little teenager. You guys fucking suck. You got every bank trying to suppress one little book.
Today in the world
all the money on earth circulates the Vatican with that little book. You guys spend trillions of dollars trying to fucking suppress Nick. You guys are pathetic.
Trillions.
And you can't even do it.
Trillions of dollars.
Jesus is king and these almost gotta go.
Yeah.
Earlier, you made a point. You said that you're assuming, or Nick's assuming, that all the women in the West are programmed and they're all wrong. But that's true. I mean, if they choose a career, they're going to find some sort of masculine essence to listen to. Women need to follow a man to some extent. So either it's going to be big pharma selling that birth control, it's going to be their boss that's in the workforce. They always listen to a man, and it's better. We're arguing that it's better for a woman to listen to her husband than it is to listen to a random boss who doesn't care about it, who's like just taking.
I mean, everybody listens to other people. It's not just women.
No,
it's
but
men
women
too.
have to listen to a man.
Why do women have to listen to a man?
That's their nature. They have to have some sort of masculine force.
That's their nature. Like, the reality is everybody listens to other people. That's how we work as a society.
Where you get your moral code said they got to listen to us. If they have an 18-year-old son, he has authority over
your moral
your moral
code
comes from the Bible. Stop fucking lying, but you made it up with your rainbow flag.
Pedophilia. What are we talking? Catholic Church again? Right? People get their morality from their family, and they get it from their community. That's where morality comes from. That's where epistemologies come from. That's how every single person in the world works. Even most Christians, I think even Nick would fucking admit, even most Catholics probably haven't even read a single gospel from start to finish, let alone the entire fucking Bible. We've got members on the panel who claim they're Muslim who've
Listen, this guy is so stupid, man. You're so stupid. So you get your moral values from your family and from your community. Yeah, and where do they got it from? From the Bible, from Christian values. Christians built civilization, thanks to the Lord, as you see it now. Okay? How the fuck is this guy famous? He's so stupid. Yeah, from your family and your community. Yeah, and where do they got it from? Like, do you think they just spawn? The values just come up in your mind like this? What the fuck?
Ever open a Quran in their life? We've got Zherka, who the fuck knows?
Yeah, I quote the Bible all the time. Hit my YouTube channel.
There's plenty of people that are religious that have never even cracked open
Here's one. Here's Genesis. Okay, Jesus said, "Stop being a."
Destiny, real quick. Yeah, so you brought up a good point. We are living in the real world, and that means, for example, we have real problems. And even though we ideally want to follow Nick's pattern, which is happening, which is not happening right now, what is your solution to this problem then? Because obviously speaking, I think this path is the right path to go to. But let's be real here. Women are not following that pattern right now. Right. So what's your solution?
Well, it's whatever the solution is, it can't be a step backwards because I don't think women are going to accept that. So there has to be something that we can do to make the value proposition for having families and having children being better. I mean, I guess we're on Rumble. I think Israel is like one of the only countries in the world that has like ultra high incentives around like having children and maintaining birth rates. They're one of the few countries that seem to do it right. But this idea of just like shaming people into like, you need to have kids and you'll love it, trust me, is like clearly not working. It didn't work work for any fascist countries between World War I and World War II. It hasn't worked for countries that are trying to just incentivize birth rates because people don't have children like that. Like you have to build like a society, a community.
It's almost like the white nations are being attacked with their birth rate by all the Muslims coming in.
Yes, Muslims that are making white people not having children.
All the good fucking Muslims coming to white countries. I wonder who's pushing that in.
Well, it's not a shame argument. The argument that I made was not just a shame argument. And I think that talking about it like it's a value proposition, I mean, don't get me wrong. I think the red pill people are right about the nature of women, the nature of men. Here's the thing, though. I don't like all this language like sexual marketplace and high value man and value proposition, because men and women are not commodities. You know, we're people, we have souls. Marriage, we believe, is a sacrament. It's something that's holy. You know, producing children is something that's bigger than just like a transaction. And what we just said, it was kind of interesting. You didn't have too much of an answer for this. I said, when it comes to women, what's more important? What do they want more? Talk about a value proposition than a man who loves them and children. I think every little girl dreams of being a princess and marrying Prince Charming and having a wedding. They want to plan out their dream wedding and they want to decorate their home and that sort of thing. And what competes with that idea? Being an OnlyFans model?
Is that those are the only two options in your life? Is OnlyFans model or
like that's a false dichotomy? That's a false dichotomy.
You're the one that made the dichotomy. No. False.
Well, you interrupted me before I continued on. What's the alternative? Be an OnlyFans model and you get banged by strange men on camera to guys who are lusting after you. Or you could go and work in some corporation and sit behind a desk and click, 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 and you can punch and be a bureaucrat and a manager. Like, men work because we have to work. We don't like working. We have our passions, as you understand. We have things that we like to do. But for 99% of the people in the world, work is monotonous. It's a grind. And even if you like it, we don't want to do it every day. We don't want to do it every day for the rest of our lives. The idea that women are like, oh, yeah, like I'm choosing to do that. You know, and we need to reshape the value proposition. I think the value proposition is pretty plain. I'll also say this. You said nobody in the world is doing this. Most people on the planet are doing it my way. You know, America isn't the only country on planet Earth. If you look at most people in Asia, Latin America, in the Middle East, Israel. In Africa, in Israel, like you said, what are the countries that are not doing this? It's all the deindustrialized countries with falling fertility rates and high suicide rates. Japan, South Korea, Western Europe, the United States. You said this is like an economic miracle. All these countries don't have a productive sector, and that's why that's why we would lose in a war with China.
Every single country in Africa and South America are all following the exact same pattern that I laid out, not the one that you're laying out.
No, they're not.
There's a reason why people say like the 11th billionth.
But this guy is so delusional. Like every country in Africa and South America, they're doing it his way. Do you think people in Africa are fucking feminists? How can you be so stupid? People in Africa have 10 kids each, and they have kids as young adults. This guy lives in the clouds. What the fuck?
Child will never be born on this planet. It's because every single country, as it industrializes, every single country as women enter the workforce, all have falling birth rates.
Wait, the 11 billion child won't be born on this planet?
Correct. Our population won't get that high because the replacement rates fall off.
I thought you meant they would be born on Mars.
Maybe Elon Musk. Also, I disagree with your first thing. Men might not want to work, but we want the freedom and the autonomy that comes with work. I think most men, given the opportunity to live with their parents until they're 30, or go out when they're 20 to 22 and enter the workforce so they have the freedom to be their own person, would choose that. I think
freedom
most
to do
men,
what, though?
To have autonomy to choose what you want to do with your life.
But what? But like what?
Yeah, to play StarCraft. Say it to play StarCraft.
It could be, if you want to play StarCraft.
No, let him answer though. I mean, what to do what?
Pursuing hobby with friends. It could be traveling. It could be enriching your life with any other number of hobbies or pursuits or interests. I mean, like, it depends. What do you mean?
See that? But that's what I'm getting at, is that is such a shallow definition of existence. If all there was in life was hobbies, I would kill myself.
Nick, cockroaches have kids. To say that the entire existence of your life should just be having kids is also to some people a really shallow part of your existence. Well, that's cool if you want to get old and die and the best moments that you have are whatever you pushed out of your fucking vagina. But for some people, they like having a record of accomplishments, a record of achievements, things that they've done, hobbies that they pursued to really high or elite levels, sports or athletics.
Stephen, stop. You don't,
for a lot of people,
Stephen, you have a son. Didn't you abandon your son? Didn't you abandon your son? Where's your son? We haven't seen him in 10 years. We need a fucking collaboration with your son.
Yeah, the story that you're laying out is, again, something that nobody's choosing to follow. Women are all choosing the opposite. And for you to say over and over again, like, oh, well, no, families are the best possible fucking thing you could ever fucking have, and nothing else competes with that, everybody on the planet seems to disagree with you. And again, you keep harping it over and over again, but anybody can go and look like birth rates or fertility rates of every African country, of every fucking South American country. As they get industrialized, the birth rates fall. Like, it's a pattern throughout all of human history.
We have women here in the studio. Let's hear their opinion real quick.
Yeah,
What do you want for your life, a career or family? Family.
So it's interesting how the leftist atheist brain works. Because, see, Destiny just said, even cockroaches have kids. That is so shallow. And that's fucking crazy because a sane mind will think, well, since every species of animals, obviously human beings, and you can argue even fucking plants, they spread their seeds. They procreate. So a sane mind will think, okay, so it's so important, every creature in this planet does it, so it's important that you do it. No, this guy says, he's so shallow. His brain works the opposite way, you know? It's not shallow, it's so important that every creature on this planet does it. It's thanks to thousands of generations that this guy is even here. If it wasn't for them, you wouldn't be here. So that's crazy, I even have to say that. It's so obvious to sane people, but wow. I mean, Destiny gets destroyed in every debate against Nick. Leave a comment and a like if you want to. Christ is King, and God bless you.